formula on the worksheet, guys, but if you want to like box it, highlight it, star it, something, this is an important formula that you will be using for a long time, and it's really helpful. So the surface area of a prism or a cylinder equals 2AB plus PBH. Now, can anybody tell me what AB means? Isaac? Area of the base. So big A usually means area. This little b means base. So area of the base. Now, what about PB? Julia? Perimeter of the base. Perimeter of base. And then H, what's H? Yeah, Dylan. Nice. All right, so if we have all these pieces, we can figure out the surface area of a prism or a cylinder. Can anybody give me sort of a description of what the surface area is? Like, what if you're trying to explain surface area to a really little tiny kid? How would you explain it, Ella? Add together, right. So if we wanted to, I meant to bring like a can of soup or something. So like if we picture a can of soup, we wanted to cover the entire thing with paper. We're wrapping a birthday present. We're trying to figure out how much paper are we going to need to cover up the whole entire thing. All right, and then another thing, I don't know if we're going to have to do this, but just for a side note, there's another thing called the lateral surface area, which is just the side. So like if we had a can of Campbell's soup, and we took off the wrapper that goes around like this, telling us what kind of soup it is, that's the lateral surface area. It doesn't count the top or the bottom. So I don't know if you guys might have, Dylan, did you encounter a problem like that you were asking about yesterday, about lateral surface area? I think you did. I think you asked. So lateral surface area, just picture if I have a can of soup and I want to just take the label, it doesn't include the top or the bottom. So like Ella said, surface area is adding up the area of all the faces. You guys probably are all good with that by now. So find the surface area. So you guys, really, really nice. You already have this on your thing, so you don't have to try and draw it. So as usual, guys, we always want to start with the formula. So I'm going to start with SA equals, someone tell me, anybody? 2AB plus PBH. You guys want this to be like ingrained in your brain so you can recite it when you sleep. Okay, perfect. So we have 2 area of the base plus PBH, the perimeter of the base times the height. So now, which face is the base of this guy? Corey? The 8 by 12. It's not the 8 by 12 actually, because the area of the base is what we want to have 2 of. So like if we set something on its side. Monica? The 8 by 6, so the triangle, right? So we always want to figure out what's the best side to make our base. This one, it has to be the triangle. This is our base, plain and simple. So if we want to plug this in, we're going to have 2 times the area of the base. Now, what's the formula for the area of a triangle? So BH over 2. So that's going to be that, plus the perimeter of the base. Okay, so this one's nice because it gives us all the sides. So the perimeter of the base is this whole thing, right? So for the perimeter of the base, we're going to have 6 plus 8 plus 10, because we want the whole perimeter of that triangle, times the height, which is 12. Okay, so if I want to plug in these pieces for the area of the base, we're going to do 2 times the base times the height of the triangle, which is 6 times 8. 6 times 8 divided by 2. And then we're going to have plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 gives me 24, I believe. Right? Times, 12, not 2. All right, at this point, I could do this the long way. This one's actually easy, so let's do it the long way. We can cross off these 2's, right? 2 divided by 2 divides out. So we're going to get 48 plus 24 times 12. Anyone? What's that? 288. Do people agree? Okay. When I add these together, what do I get? 336? Yeah? Okay. 336. Now, units, guys. Units are important on these. They're always a point on the test, and they're always going to be homework. And this one didn't give us units. Did it? Oh, on your guys' sheet. I was like, what? Okay. Feet squared. So units are going to be squared because we're talking about area. Everybody good? Questions? What's up, Isaac? Lateral surface area will also be squared, yeah. Because even if we're just talking about the lateral surface area, it's still like if we took a wrapper and we wrapped it around and if you undid it, it would just be like a flat area. Yep. Okay, good question. Find the surface area of this right rectangular prism. So a right prism or a right something just means that we have a base and it comes up at a 90-degree angle from that base. So you have two of the same base on something. Okay, so we want to find the surface area. So for this one, what do we think our base should be? What's up, Sophie? The front. That's fine. Let's pick the front. This one is actually interesting. We could have picked either side as the base because it's a rectangular cylinder. It used the front. It says use the front. Okay. So we'll use the front. You should get the same answer either way, though, when you're using a rectangular prism. So just to help get a visual, I guess this worksheet is telling us to use the front. So we're going to use that side. So again, we're going to start with the formula SA equals 2AB plus PBH. Okay, so if we are using this little front side, we're going to have 2 times 3 times 2, right? Because it's just a rectangle, we just do base times height, plus the perimeter of the base. Okay, so if we want to find the perimeter, we have 3 right here, 2 right here, and then what's this value going to be down here? 3, right? Because it's a rectangle. And then how about this side? 2, right? So we need to add all of those, guys. Don't just add the numbers that you can see. You have to picture it as a 3D object. So if it's a rectangle, we're going to have 4 sides. So we'll have 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 times the height. So we made this as our height. I guess I should do a different color. This is our height, so it's going to be times 4. And then we're going to calculate this guy out. I can get more of a page. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 is going to give me 5 plus 5, which is like 10 times 4. So we're going to get 12 plus 40 and 52. Now what's my units on this one, guys? On the worksheet? Inches. Inches squared. Yay! 52 inches squared. Any questions on that one? That one is actually a little bit easier than the triangle one. Oh, a cylinder. Yay. So this one really is like a can of soup or, I don't know, I guess there's lots of things that are sort of in a water bottle. You can picture it with whatever you want, as whatever you want. Okay, so once again, we start with our handy formula. Surface area equals 2AB plus PBH. Okay, now what's our base for this one? Drew? The circle, yeah. So it tells us our right circular cylinder has a radius of 20. So this guy right here is 20 centimeters. And a length of 200 centimeters. Okay, so length, when I read this, I'm thinking, well, in my formula, this length is really my h, right? So I'm just going to fill that in. Find the surface area of the right circular. So we have another right cylinder, and that's because we have our base, and our sides are coming up at 90 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and plug in. So this time, our area of the base, guys, what's the area of a circle? Micaiah. Sorry, fire square. plus PBH. So now we have the perimeter. So the perimeter, we want the perimeter of the circle. What's another name for the perimeter of the circle, Riley? Circumference. So we can put that as C if we wanted. Now, what's the formula for circumference of a circle, Drew? 2 pi r. You could also do d pi if you wanted, but 2 pi r actually works better because we have the radius. And then h, we already decided, is going to be 200, even though it tells us that's our length. If we were to tip this cylinder upright, like we would picture, it would be, h would be that 200. So we're going to put 200 right there. Okay. Now this one is going to be a little bit less easy to go through and calculate, but we have some more stuff to fill in. So we're going to have 2 times pi. Our radius is 20 squared. Another thing, guys, this, especially with the circles, be really careful with your parentheses. 2 pi r, it's another 20, and then we're going to times that by 200. So I'm going to carry it through, and we're going to do the pi answer, you guys, because we don't get calculators on our tests. Too bad, so sad, so we have to leave our answers in pi form. So we're going to go through, and we're going to calculate this one out. So we're going to have 2 times pi. What's 20 squared? 400. Perfect. Pi times 400 plus 2 times pi times 20. We can really write this to 2 times 20 gives us 40. That's because the commutative property of multiplication, right? We can multiply these in any order. And then we have times 200 on the outside. So now we can do, once again, because of the commutative property, we can multiply these guys together. We're going to get 800 pi plus, what's 40 times 200? 8,000. I agree. I think that's right. So now we have 800 pi plus 8,000 pi. Our final answer should be 8800. 8,800 pi. We were in centimeters, so we want to have centimeters squared. Oh, I don't know why it went black right there. What's up, Micaiah? Oh, that is a good question. So what's happening here is we have these pi's hanging out, right? Because we don't have a calculator, so we don't want to change that to 3.14. Another way we can think of this is like if we have 800 pi's, so we have this big thing of 800 pi's, and then we have another thing of 8,000 pi's. If we put all of our pi's together, we're going to have 8,800 pi's. Okay, so this is 800 of something, 8,000 of something. When we add them all together, we're going to add the numbers there, and we're going to leave the pi. Does that sort of make more sense? What's up, Drew? If we multiplied it, it would be pi squared. Very right, very good. Yep. But we're adding, so that's just going to stay as pi because we had 800 of something, 8,000 of something. Throw it all together, we're going to have 8,800 pi total. Good question, Micaiah. That is sort of confusing. Okay. One more challenging one, you guys, and then I'm pretty sure we have whiteboards. So hang in there with me. I know this is a longer lesson. Okay, so we have a base of the right solid. Whoa. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay. A base of the right solid 10 meters high is shown. Find the surface area of the right solid. Dimensions are in meters. Remember that the lateral surface area of a right solid is equal to the perimeter of the base times height. So we got that. Okay, so we want to find the whole surface area. So this is the base, you guys, and we have a right solid. So that means that our sides are going to come up at a 90-degree angle. So this is our base. Picture your cylinder-ish thing, or prism, or whatever you want to call it, coming out of the screen. Okay. So, once again, surface area equals 2AB plus PBH. Okay, so now we have a little bit more of a confusing area of the base, right? Because we have two sections. So we have this section, which is like a triangle, right? And then we have this section, which is not a full circle, but a half circle. So I want you guys to be really careful. This is where a lot of people get tripped up. We have a half circle, not a full circle. So when we're doing our formula for the area of the base, we have to make sure we remember that it's a half circle. So we're going to have 2, and for our area of the base, we're going to have this triangle, so base times height divided by 2, plus this semicircle. So we're going to do 1/2 pi r squared, okay, because this is a half circle, not a full circle. So that's our area of the base. And now we have the perimeter of the base, which is, again, a little bit more challenging on this one. So that for the perimeter, we want every edge. We want that whole thing. We want this rounded part, and we want the base. So for the triangle parts, that's pretty easy, right, because it already gives us 10 and 8, so we can do 10 plus 8. But now we have this part, which is half, what's that? Pi times radius. Yeah, very good. So we're going to do plus pi times r. Very good. And the reason for this is because the circumference, the total circumference is 2 pi r. If we want half of that, we divide it by 2. What's up, Isaac? You know, I don't really know why that's on there. Let's see. Find that, because it tells us to find the whole surface area, right? So I'm doing it with the area of the base. Remember the lateral surface. So if we wanted to figure out the lateral surface area, we would just do PBH. So that's lateral. Okay, it's extra, I think it's extra practice to do the whole surface area. It's sort of random that that's on there. I don't really know why. Everybody good? All right, moving on. Yay. All right, we're going to rewrite this when we have everything plugged in. So our base was 8. Our height. So guys, what's the height of this triangle? This is our right angle right here. 6. Very good. Because our radius is 3, so we have 3 right here, and then we have another 3. What's up, Micaiah? The height is this value PBH. It's 10. Yeah, that's sorry. So this is the base, and it says 10 meters. Wow, look at that cool marker. Nice. I like that. Okay, so the height, yeah, this is sort of weird because we have different heights going on. So for the height down here, I did a little h, and then for the big height, I did a big H. So actually, yeah, this is times h. I see where you're coming from. So we want to put a times 10 on there. Yep, sorry, I left that out. Okay, so we have 8 times 6 over 2 plus 1/2 pi times radius. So our radius was 3. 3 squared plus 10, because that's our height. You could also put the 10 on the end, same thing. And then we have 10 plus 8, which gives us 18, plus pi r. Our radius is 3, so we're plus 3 pi. Okay. Is that looking good so far? What's that? Yes, same thing. So this right here is the same thing as writing pi r squared over 2. I know sometimes you guys prefer to do that, so if you want to do that, that's totally fine. Okay, now let's carry this guy through. So we have 2. I'm going to leave that on the outside and work in the parentheses first. This is a good practice of the order of operations. So 8 times 6 gives us 48. Do you have a question, Drew? So this is 10, but the height, yeah, these ones do get confusing, guys. So take your time on these, even if you feel like, I got this, I'm amazing. You guys are amazing, but you still need to take your time. Okay, 48 divided by 2 plus 1/2 pi times 3 squared is what? 9. Close those parentheses. Plus 10, which is our height of the whole thing, plus 18 plus 3 pi. Oh my gosh, this one is crazy. Okay. 48 divided by 2 gives me 24 plus 9 over 2 pi plus 10 times 18 plus 3 pi. We haven't really officially done the distributive property yet, so I would take this as an okay answer for your pi answer, and then you could just type this into your calculator, and some magical calculator person, you can tell me what the answer is if anyone has it. What's up, Corey? Do you have an answer, Caleb?
I think it's
2,850.75 meters squared. Let me go see what I have. Sounds like it should be right. Any other calculator person getting that same answer that Caleb got? I got something different. Yeah, I got something different. Did anyone else get something different, Corey? I also got something different than that. Unless something is wrong is happening with our work. Double check it. 2 times 24 plus 9 halves pi plus... Oh, no? Okay, I got, for mine, 350.522. That's what you got? Okay, so this is sort of tricky to plug in, you guys. What you would have plugged into your calculator was 2 parentheses 24 plus 9 divided by 2 times pi, close parentheses, plus 10, close parentheses, times 18 plus 3 pi, close parentheses. What's up, Sophie? $350.522. So guys, if you calculated that a little bit off,